Hello one all, it's my review of Dr. Stone, Chapter 139, First Dream, and that is just an absolutely freaking perfect title. But before I get into any of that, let me just say a huge thanks to everyone who watched my last video. My last video on Dr. Stone is currently sitting at over 1,000 views, and I know it was a big chapter, especially with that ending, and I was expecting a few more views than usual, but nothing in that range. It's just a huge thanks to everyone who watched it, and double huge thanks to everyone who left a comment down below. I love reading all the theories, speculations, ideas people had about what it was going to be. I think one of my favorite theories was that it was Senku from an alternate dimension or the future where humanity destroyed the Earth, and this is his idea of saving it by essentially putting all of humanity on a timeout while Mother Earth gets a chance to recharge. And I do love this chapter actually mentions quite a few of those theories. Do you have a twin? A doppelganger? Did Senku travel through time? Oh, that was just hilarious. I love that. And of course Ryu, good old Ryu, is just sitting there calmly drinking some tea while everyone's freaking out that Senku's voice just came over the radio to try to murder all of them. But thankfully we have a world-class sonar operator on this team with the hearing of a god, so he's able to recognize the voice, the depth, the pitch, and say, wait a minute. This is exactly the same as the last time I heard this recording, therefore it's an artificial voice, which was one of the theories I had last week. But Chrome comes up with a very different conclusion than I did, which I find interesting. He thinks the Y-Man somehow picked up on Senku's communication when he issued the order to petrify Ibarra, which does actually make a whole lot more sense than what I was saying last week. So because Senku activated the device over a long distance at least once, it's technically possible that that's how he's always using it. You know, kept the telephone next to the device so they can push criminals into a cell, petrify them, and don't have to be anywhere near it when it activates. I mean, that's definitely safer than throwing it. And so they decide to go to someone for answers, and weirdly enough, they do not go to Kurosami. I mean, seriously, this girl worked under the Masters. I assume her family is like the ancestral guardians of the royal line or something. Think like the Sheikah from Zelda or something, but no. Instead, they go to Soyuz, who admittedly does have a good memory, but he was a baby when he last saw the device, so not really sure what they thought could be gained from him. Meanwhile, Kohaku and Kurosami decided to train against each other, which I just absolutely love. Kurosami went from mortal enemy to fighting buddy in the span of 2 chapters, and it's just absolutely hilarious and perfect. And oh my lord, this shot of them going back and forth against each other is absolutely freaking amazing. And a little too revealing on Kurosami's part, maybe? Just maybe? And she's fairly overwhelmed by Kohaku's strength, because apparently last time they were fighting, Kohaku was so encumbered by the new dress she was wearing that she literally couldn't fight anywhere near her maximum potential. So these two are basically evenly matched, and I just love that. Anyway, then they find the stone girl, which is actually a stone guy. I didn't realize that. My bad. And for whatever reason, this person had the petrification beam carved into their arm. I'm not sure if it's a tattoo or if it was something that was carved in after they were petrified, or what exactly is going on with that, but they decide to wake this person up. And that's how we meet Matsukaze. I'm probably butchering that name, my apologies. And I absolutely love this guy. I mean, just the way he's drawn. Boichi is using an ink smudging technique. I don't know the official name for it. I don't think he's used it before. It just really makes him look like a man at a time, like he's from another era, another age, especially with how he acts. But just how he's drawn really emphasizes that before he even says a word. It's definitely walking a tightrope, you know, trying to draw him a different style while still making him feel like he fits in Dr. Stone. I really like that. And he is quite a fighter. Wow! He's able to save Jinro from both Kohaku and Kurosami at the same time. Wow! Just his movements here, you see them drawn to that same ink smudge technique. It's absolutely freaking amazing. I just want to see more of this man move. It's just so freaking beautiful. And, of course, apparently Matsukaze's lord was Jinro's ancestor. And looked a whole lot like him, which, whole lot of problems there, a whole lot of problems there. And Jinro decides just to go with this and say that he is the reincarnation of this man's master. And you just gotta love Amaryllis' line here. What happened to the guy in the dress who acted so valiantly? Yeah, that was my thought too, Kurosami. I said in my last video it was a shame he was no longer in a dress, and someone commented below, well, why do you think that? That's weird. Something like that. And it's because of this. It's because he was more honorable and manly while wearing a dress than he has ever been while wearing pants. And Matsukaze decides to answer some of our questions by showing us a flashback of the past when the petrification device rained down from the heavens. A great number of them, apparently, which, whole lot of theories and speculations on that. I mean, there's just a whole lot to theorize and speculate on from that one little panel. I mean, we're seeing dozens and dozens of meteors falling from the sky, and Matsukaze said a great number of them fell from the sky. So does that mean there's actually dozens of these things all around the world, and they have to go track down each and every one of them? Or does that mean there's a bunch of debris that fell from the sky, the one was a petrification beam, and he assumed there was another petrification device in all the other ones? I'm honestly not sure, though I do have a small theory on what might have caused this. In the reboot series, there's one point where Ray realizes there's a meteor on its way to Earth that's going to destroy all life, so he launches several thousand missiles against it to blow it up. A fairly good plan, if I must say so. This could have been the debris from that, and for some reason one of the missiles hit the Y-Man's base on the moon. We're definitely going to talk about that down the road. And that resulted in all these meteors crashing to the Earth. That's at least the best theory I've come up with so far. I also do love how the entire old village looks like feudal Japan. We see someone wearing half a melon on their head, much like sweet old Suka. Maybe it's even her ancestor. But I'm really curious. This is 100, maybe 200 years ago, feudal Japan. I feel like in that time span, they should have become more advanced than they are right now. There is a rule on the island that says don't build anything new. I'm just wondering, did Ibarra make that order so that no one could dethrone him? Or was that something else, something older? I mean, does the Medusas falling from the sky have something to do with that? Was the order created after that? Like they're afraid they're going to make more of these things by accident or something? I'm just not sure. I have so many questions about that flashback, but it only lasts half a page, at which point Senku and everyone else runs away because they want to test something. Seriously, Senku, this man has answers. Are you seriously not going to listen to the rest of his story? And you know, I'd get mad at this point, but this is just such a Dr. Stone thing to do. To set up expectations for one thing, and then, oh, nope, we're doing the other thing. Like spend 10 chapters building a drone, and then, nope, we're not using the drone because it's trapped, so we're going to go run away, then we're going to use the drone when you least expect it. Or how the first 3 chapters were all from Taiju's point of view. It seemed like he was the protagonist, he was the main character, and then, oop, nope, we're going to kill Senku, and then, nope, we're going to bring back Senku from the dead, and nope, we're going to make Senku the main character by starting the story all over again from his point of view. So yeah, this series just loves to mess with our expectations, and I absolutely love it. So Senku manages to build a parabolic antenna, and from this he's able to track down the Y-Man's location. Where he's broadcasting from? The freaking moon! Which makes a lot of sense. I ruled that out as a possibility last chapter because Ray, is in space. He's been in space for 3,000 years. I think he would have noticed a colony on the moon or something, but I went back and reread all of Reboots, and Ray never actually mentions the moon, yet we see it very frequently, which at the time didn't seem strange at all, because, it's space. Obviously, we're going to see the moon, but knowing that's actually the secret base of the enemy this whole time, oh, that just makes Reboot so much better. And then as Senku puts down the plate, he gets this very strange look on his face. A look of almost giddiness mixed with contentment, mixed with satisfaction. And Jen reads it way better than I do. Wait. I have a terrible hunch. One that's probably definitely most absurdly correct. In this primitive stone world, are we? Yep, we're going to the moon! Woo! Oh my freaking god, Senku is going to the moon! Senku's going to the moon! I can't freaking wait! Oh my lord, the title of this chapter, First Dream. I almost never read the title, but this time I did. I'm like, that's a weird title. I wonder what it means. I wonder who are the first dreams? Is it like the dream of the person who's going to petrify the earth or do something like that? Nope. It's Senku's first dream. Right after the series rebooted, right after Senku's death, with first flashback with Senku staring at the moon, wondering while it's following him, and then announcing to his teacher that he was going to go to space. He was going to go to the freaking moon, and now it's coming true. That was his dream, and it's happening, and I am so freaking excited. I mean, that was definitely something I saw happening, but I thought this is something that would have to wait till the end of the series, like the very end of it. Like, after Senku revived the rest of the world, after took down the Y-Man, after he did all this, the series would end with him boarding a rocket that he and the revived Earth made themselves and going into outer space, like 20, 30 years in the future. Nope, that's not the case. They are building a rocket to space right here, right now, and I cannot even begin to fathom what they are going to need to do this. First off, probably a supercomputer, because going to the moon requires a whole lot of calculations, and I think that's above even Senku's brilliant brain. Next up, rocket fuel, and a rocket. I mean, they built this amazing ship, so building a rocket wouldn't be that insane, but Rocket fuel is a bit hard to come by, so I have no idea how they're going to make that. Really, I think the supercomputer is the biggest issue. But then again, we do have good old Rei, who is a supercomputer up in space, so if Senku could find some way to contact her, she could definitely give him a hand, give him all the calculations he needs to actually get to the moon. Okay, no idea how any of that's going to happen, but super excited to see it. I mean, really, I lost my mind when they announced they were building a drone. Now they're building a freaking rocket ship. Oh, I can't wait for that. Oh, I can't wait. So your next chapter is definitely going to be an interesting one. I'm not sure if they're going to stay on this island or go back, because they still need to, wake up Tsukasa, because he's still in, cryonic hibernation at this point, and they could really use his muscle strength in, I guess, building a rocket. I'm honestly not sure what to expect on the moon, but he would definitely fit the requirements for an astronaut, at least the physical ones. I don't think Senku is actually physically strong enough to have qualified for an astronaut in the modern age, at least, but we'll see about that. No way in heck is he gonna miss out on this chance to go to the moon, just saying. And as for what's waiting up there, I'm honestly not sure. I mean, a colony of people seems less likely now that we know that's on the moon, because just they would require so many resources and so much stuff to, just water, food, all that. I know you could grow a certain amount of it on the moon, but I still feel like you need regular supplies sent up from the Earth, so I'm not sure about that. Definitely seems more likely this is an AI we're dealing with, especially since the voice they chose to use was Senku's voice after hearing his recording. So yeah, definitely leaning more towards the evil AI route, which is going to be really funny because I'm fairly certain to get to space, Senku is going to need to get in contact with Rei, and that's going to be an absolutely amazing moment I cannot wait for. And she's going to be the supercomputer doing all the calculations to get them there. So then we'll have Senku's AI versus an evil AI built by his true father fighting off against each other. And of course, that's how this series is going to end. I'm also really hope we see more of Matsukaze, because I just absolutely love the way he's drawn, the way he moves, just how Boichi draws the ink lines like that. It's absolutely amazing. Seriously, I really don't know how he managed to make this character both feel like he fits in this series and feel like he's from a whole different time and space altogether. It just works so well. And please, Matsukaze, finish your flashback. There were many things you would still have left to tell us that I want to know more about. So yeah, hopefully next chapter answers some of those questions. By the looks of things, it might actually come out a few days early next week, so I might be able to get this video up even earlier than normal. But if anyone's looking out for my My Hero Academia video, my Promised Neverland video, those might be delayed a day or two because I'm a bit under the weather. And honestly, just talking this long is really exhausting me. Alright, so yeah, just once again, I want to thank everyone who watched my last video. Hopefully this video does as well or even better. Especially since Senku announced they're going to the freaking moon! They are going to the moon! I can't wait, I can't freaking wait! I mean, like I said, I always knew this was going to happen eventually, but I thought, like, 20, 30 years in the future, the epilogue of the series, that's how it's going to end, Senku giving a grand speech about how they managed to rebuild society and how science will march the world forward into an even better future, something like that. Though, if the Y-Man's ultimate goal was to give the Earth a chance to regrow, rebreathe, all that, I am hoping Senku ends up relying more on renewable energy and recycling in this new age instead of repeating our own mistakes. So yeah, overall, I absolutely love this chapter, absolutely love the ending, and I screamed so much when I read it, my family thought I'd been murdered. Which is always a good sign. Anyway, be sure to like, subscribe to the next video, super excited for it. And please, please, please leave a comment down below. I love reading all your ideas and speculations from last video. Just everyone had different ideas. I think it was Senku from the future. It was his evil twin. It was alternate dimension one. It was aliens. There's so many ideas I never even thought of that really had me rereading the chapter in a different light. And I'm hoping to do that and hoping to experience that again this chapter. Hoping you all have ideas I haven't even thought of yet. So just let me know down below. And until next time,
peace.